Hey, I just want to say to all the transphobes, homophobes out there, people who don't like our community, y'all so worried about this sex ed and like gender learning in school, and let's be real, do you even know what they're even saying to your kids? Like, sex ed has been around for a while, and yes, for most of us, that didn't start until maybe like the 4th or 5th grade, before you usually like start puberty sometimes, depending on your body, because not everybody goes through puberty at the same time. Some people younger, some people older. That is important. Now, they're not sitting there showing your children how to have sex or telling your children how to have sex. The basis of what sex ed is to let youth know what sex can mean and when it should possibly be done. And if it's to be done, how to do it safely so that there is no harm to either person involved. And yes, this could mention same-sex couples. Oh, shocking. How terrible. And you know what? Half the time, they're not even going to talk about what needs to be talked about for the queer community. So just so you're aware, they don't really touch base on that too much, so you really don't even have to worry. They're still just going to talk about heterosexuality for the most part, but what the point is to teach youth about the risks of having sex or unprotected sex. That's why it's called health class, that you have sex ed during. And you learn a lot of things in health class, about many things, okay? Not just about sex or gender or whatever. And as far as the gender goes, teachers are not sitting there telling your children that you have to be a different gender or that this, that, and the other. The purpose of this is just to inform people that there are people who do identify differing from what they were assigned at birth, and that it's okay. Nobody is sitting there telling your child that they should be non-binary, genderqueer, trans female, trans male, or any form of trans or gender variant. What this is doing is letting people know that there are people out there, and that if there is someone or someones in your child's class, that it's okay. It's not their business, it's not your business, but it is making people aware so that it can be a safer environment. And it's safer for everyone for that. And if a child isn't ready to come out, I wonder why. So at the end of the day, while you're being so hyped up about this, let's just take into consideration that even in medical school, if you go through medical school, think about how many years you would go through medical school, okay? I don't even want to say, like, if I even said to you they spend a year on LGBTQ plus healthcare training, I'd be fucking lying to you, okay? So at the end of the day, there are things that need to be spoken of. This is not anybody sitting there telling your kids that they need to be this. And to be honest, it's not a common topic that they're talking about and bringing up in health class. They're generally bringing it up maybe once or twice so that the kids can get an understanding, possibly of another child that they're in class with, or to just understand something that is different. And you think it's an entire class every single day of your kids being told about sex or gender or sexuality? No. It's brought up maybe, I'd say once or twice, or if somebody has a question. Because it's not an everyday thing. Even when you have health class, you're not talking about the same things every day. So don't sit there and act like it's a cult trying to tell your kids that they have to be a certain way. I have a son that's limb different, and he was born that way, and there is nothing wrong with him. And do you know what I do? On the first day of school, there is a book that I put in his backpack that explains about his limb difference so that he doesn't have to get questions every second of the day because somebody wants to know, or somebody wants to try to touch it, or somebody wants to walk up and say, oh, what happened to you? So from somebody from the queer community and from a father who has a son with a difference, there is nothing wrong with explaining to children or other people about a difference that somebody may have so that you don't act inappropriately and hurt someone else's feelings or act like a fucking jerk, you know? So at the end of the day, pull your head out of your asses, actually think about what statistically is the amount that your child is being completely exposed to as you so speak of. It's complete and utter bullshit. I am not the same. I am not cis and straight. And I had to learn all of the bullshits that you guys had to learn, which had nothing to do with what I needed. Okay? And there are so many people just like me. And so for you to turn around and have the audacity and the thought that all it is every day your kid's being drilled with gender or sexuality. No. That's us. We've been drilled by your gender and your sexuality our entire lives. And you are misunderstanding the amount of content that is actually being distributed and how it is being distributed and what is being said. And you wouldn't even look into it, even if you watched this and you were told and other people told you, go look into it. Like, at the end of the day, you sound so stupid. You look so stupid. You're a fucking clown. There are so many differences in people in the world, and you clearly show all of your differences, and you could be a wonderful person, but having that view and speaking poorly of other people that are different, no. I will stand up for myself. I will stand up for my community. I will stand up for anybody else who is a minority. And I will stand up for anyone with a limb difference. Okay? So before you hop on your keyboard or open your big fat mouth, how about you educate yourself a bit? How about you actually go and figure out, because you're so concerned about what your kids are being taught in school, do you really actually ask, or do you just assume what they're being told? And for 99% of you, it's the latter. And it makes you uncomfortable. And that's fine, because you don't understand and you don't know anything about it because you've never even taken the time. And the difference between you and the people that your children will become is that at least if your children have some sort of knowledge or the ability to go ask the question and the security within themselves to feel comfortable to ask a question, that is what a human being should be like. Not somebody who is so scared about something that they know nothing about that they can't even get the guts to ask a question that could explain anything that might make you uncomfortable. And if you want to know what uncomfortable feels like, how about putting yourselves in the shoes of somebody like me, and then go read your own friggin' comments. Go listen to what you've said in a group of friends that you have. If anybody spoke about your family in that way, to do with any other context, you would turn into a raging monster. So how about you think about that? Because at the end of the day, you are abusive, you are aggressive, and you are not using the full capacity of what you have as a human being to even be decent enough to just not say anything at all. Nobody's forcing anything down your throat. It's just that we're visible now. The people who came before us made it so that we could be more comfortable to be visible as human beings, as we have every right to be. And that can make some people uncomfortable, and that's understandable. Nobody's judging your comfort level. But at the end of the day, things go both ways. And if you don't like something, just don't like it and keep your mouth shut. The only reason I'm speaking is because what you are saying is affecting myself. It affects my family. It affects my friends. It affects my community. It affects human beings. You're a human being, right? I'm a human being. People can agree to disagree. You can think that it's not right, but that doesn't mean that you have the right to come at anyone, put somebody down, be aggressive, be violent, or abusive towards anyone. And a true human being would have the knowledge and the concept to understand that. And I don't even know what else to say, to be honest. Nobody's asking you to be our best friends. Nobody's asking you to come out and support us. All we're asking for is to be ourselves. And because we still can't be ourselves, we do have pride. Because there are only so many times that we get to go out in public and be who we are. Or that we get to actually be seen instead of hiding. It's 2023 and we are still hiding. And 5 years ago, maybe, there was so much change that was for the good. And within the last 2 years, everybody got locked up in COVID. And what? You went back 100 years? No. Okay? It's not acceptable. It's not okay. Like I said, if anybody came at somebody that you love the way that y'all come at us, it would not be okay. And we're not coming at you. We don't want you to full out in our face come up to us in public and be like, I'm okay with you. Half the time, we want you to just leave us alone. Just like you want to be left alone. Think about it.